How's it going, guys? I'm your host Korriban Gaming. Welcome back to a very special Adventure Quest video. And for today's video, I hope it's not going to be too long because today we are going to be going through the Adventure Quest bosses difficulty tier list. Okay, so this tier list is obviously going to be opinionated. It's going to be my opinion. So if you guys have a different experience with the bosses, then obviously you're going to rank the bosses a bit differently. Okay, so first off, we have the God tier. These bosses are known to be unbeatables inside the game. Either that, or you can only use one super cheesy strategy to beat the boss. Those monsters are very far and very few in between. Then we have the hair-pullingly difficult bosses. So these bosses are actually pretty hard even if you know the mechanics, and usually you will need to use some form of cheese to get through it, or most people like to use cheese to get through it. Okay, then the next tier we have can give you a challenge. So these bosses, if you don't know the mechanics, then yes, they can be very tough, or if you don't specifically counter their mechanics, then it's going to be a tough challenge. And then the next tier we have okay if you know the mechanics. So these bosses aren't super difficult. There's a large variety of ways to beat them. They can still give you a moderate challenge if you don't know what their mechanics are, but for the most part, as long as you understand how they work, they should be a piece of cake. And last but not least, we have outdated pieces of cake. Alright, so these bosses, they are no longer considered bosses, or if you will, because of the updates that we've gotten for the game throughout the years. Okay, so starting off, War-Torn Dragon. Guys, this has to be hair-pullingly difficult. Very, very tough boss. One of the toughest non-unbeatable bosses inside of the entire game. Period. In between the phases, you still have to do an endurance check. Otherwise, you lose a chunk of HP. On top of that, there's a very... there's a damage cap which really stops you from nuking the boss down. On top of that, you suffer a lot of HP damage, MP damage, as well as SP damage the longer the fight goes on. So all in all, super difficult fight. One of the most difficult fights in the game currently. I'm excited to see how the stat changes will shake things up. Hopefully this boss will still be doable after the stat changes, but we'll see. Alright, next up, this one, hold on, let me see. Okay, Necromancer Ringleader. This one. Okay, so this is quite a new boss. Okay, and this is from the Paladin quest. Paladin class quest boss. Okay, I would say it's okay if you know the mechanics. And if you're using the Paladin class, then this is obviously going to be a cakewalk. Since where you encounter this boss is from the Paladin class quest. So obviously they are expecting you to use the class armor. And if you do, then it's going to be very simple. But even if you don't use the class armor, I would say it's pretty easy. Alright, next up we have the WereDragon Queen. Okay, this one, I would say it's not even difficult at all. So it's technically not outdated, but yeah, I would say it's a piece of cake. Alright, Alpha WereDragon, another void boss. This one very good for backlash farming using gold, but even if you don't use backlash, I would still say it's not super difficult. There's really no real mechanics that you need to take note of, so I'm going to put this as another outdated piece of cake. Above or below WereDragon Queen? I would say below, because WereDragon Queen, it's 200% to everything, so yeah, it's going to be very easy. Newly revamped Safiria. Ooh, this one. Okay, yeah, this one very hard. Okay, the revamped version. It's beatable, but you do need to use some form of cheese, especially if you don't have premium equipment. So is it harder than War-Torn Dragon? Yes. Yes. Because apart from the cheese methods, it is really, really difficult. Alright, and I don't think you can beat her without cheese, to my knowledge. So yeah, newly revamped Safiria definitely near the top of the list. True Horror Nightbane. Yeah, this is a real horror indeed. Okay, is it hair-pullingly difficult? Yes, because I failed against it a few times. And even if you know the mechanics, it's still going to be a little hard. Right, so, but I would think it is easier than War-Torn Dragon. So I'm going to put it below, just very slightly though. Next up, Caecus. Caecus, this one is difficult for warriors, but for mages, he's pretty much a cakewalk since you can nuke him down. Nonetheless, I don't think he is super easy either, but I would say he is below Necromancer Ringleader or on par. Yeah, they're on par. I can't really decide which one is more difficult. He does hit with multiple elements as well, so yeah, you know what, maybe I'll put him above Necromancer Ringleader. Yep, simply because he hits with multiple elements and it's a bit harder to shield against. Next up, Death Flare. Death Flare, this one, I think he can stun you or something, right? But apart from that, nothing really special about him. So, I'm going to put him. The thing with Void Dragon Queen is that even though she's 200% to all elements, she also hits you with Void, and no armor out there really defends against Void. So, yeah, it's a double-edged sword here. As for Death Flare, if you get your darkness resistance low enough, I guess he's a cakewalk. But yeah, I'm just gonna put him here below Void Dragon Queen. Next up, the newly revamped Starslayer. Ooh, this one. If you don't have Backlash Cheese, I would say he's very hard indeed. Okay, is he harder than True Horror Nightbane or Warthorn Dragon? I would think he's easier than Safiria, that's for sure. Is he harder than True Horror Nightbane? Yes. Is he harder than Warthorn Dragon? No, because I think Warthorn Dragon is harder because it has 4 phases. Okay, even though he hits with both energy and dark, it's a bit difficult to defend against both at the same time unless you already got the armor prior to beating him, but we are assuming that you don't have the rewards from beating that particular boss yet when judging their difficulty. So I would say he's pretty tough, and apart from the Star Slayer and Star Savior armors, I can't really think of any armor out there that defends well against both energy and dark. Okay, maybe premium armors, premium compression armors, but for free armors, I don't really think there's any. Okay, next up, Nulgath. Okay, Void Challenge. This one, in fact, I don't even remember what Nulgath really does. I would say Nulgath is he outdated here? I don't know, man, because I can't really remember what Nulgath's mechanics are. But I don't remember struggling with him either, so yeah, I'm gonna say he's a outdated piece of cake. Is he above Void Dragon Queen? Maybe not. Is he above Death Flare? Yeah, maybe above Death Flare, but I really can't remember his mechanics. Next up, we have the Void Nightbane level 500 version. This is the God tier. Okay, there is one known way of beating it. Okay, used to be 2. Okay, you used to be able to make use of the Zombie Hunter armor or whatever that's called. It was from a $100 Z token package to cheese the boss and make the boss deal win damage, but I think the armor has been patched now, so that strategy is no longer viable. Instead, now the only known way of beating him is using Geocastellum barrier stacking. So yeah, that's the only way that you can beat True Horror Nightbane now. So I am going to give him the God tier. Galen, yep, outdated piece of cake. Nowadays, he used to be a very popular challenge bosses back in the olden days. Like a lot of people would make videos of them beating the Galen just to show off, and then you had the edgy music in the background, edgy heavy metal music. I really love those days, you know, back in the olden days of AQ when people used to make those videos. Nowadays, of course, with the YouTube crap that's going on and DMCA and all that kind of copyright nonsense, you can't really do that anymore unless you want to get demonetized. So yeah, I mean, smaller content creators can still do that because it literally does not affect them. So yeah, there's also that. But then again, if the big companies, they want to shut you down, it doesn't matter if you're a big or small creator, still going to affect you in some way. So yeah, little bit of a shame there, but yeah, I digress. He's a very easy boss nowadays. Next up, Rhubzard. This one, not exactly outdated, but super easy boss as well. I would say, is he harder than Alpha WereDragon? I think he has a mechanic that reduces your luck or something, right? So maybe a bit more difficult. Yep. Next one, Head of Tiamoth. Very recent boss. I would say this one can give you a challenge. Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, I think it can give you a challenge. But as long as you know what he does. Wait a minute. Tiamoth, no. Yeah, Tiamoth is only okay. Yeah, it's not super challenging. Really not super challenging at all. Above Necromancer Ringleader? Probably not. Ryn the Undying. Yup, this one outdated. Okay, same category as Galen. Okay, very old and popular boss that people like to beat to show off back in the days. But now he's just super duper easy. So we're going to put him above WereDragon. I think maybe above. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put him here. Frostgale, I recently did a video showcasing how to beat him with a free-to-play strategy, and you don't really require any cheese, so as long as you know what you're doing, I would say it's only okay. Yeah, it's not very difficult, but I think she hits with both elements, so that makes her harder than single element hitting enemies. Above Tiamoth. Shadowscythe Virophage. Ooh, this one has 4 phases and also has a whole bunch of mechanics. If you know the mechanics, then it's not super hard, but even if you know the... Wait, what am I saying? Yeah, even if you know the mechanics, it can still be a little bit challenging. So I'm going to put it in this tier over here. Alright. Cragmar's Ghost. This one I literally cannot remember what he does. I think he only hits with 1 element. Pretty strong as well. So not very difficult. Gonna put him below Tiamoth. Okay. Carnax. God level, obviously. Level 300. Harder than Void Nightbane? No. I think Void Nightbane is harder than Carnax. Because Void Nightbane will literally one-shot you regardless. Carnax, there's a small chance they can survive the attack. Actually, for those of you guys who are not aware, but obviously the way to beat Carnax is you need to one-turn kill Carnax using Book of Burns strategy. That is the only strategy I think that you can beat Carnax with. Geocastellum, I would say it wouldn't really work that well, so yeah, Book of Burns is better against Carnax. Chaos Knight, this one, outdated. Yeah, but I can't remember what he does either, so let's see. Here, yeah, I'm gonna place him here. Core, okay, this one, another boss from the Paladin class series of quests. Again, if you're using the Paladin class, this should be a cakewalk, but even if you're not using the Paladin class, I think there's other ways to beat it. So I would say it's below... it's probably easier than Necromancer Ringleader because I don't see people complaining about Core as much. Like, I see a lot of people saying that it's very hard to beat Necromancer Ringleader. Core, I don't really see much complaints. So I'm going to put Core, I would say above Tiamoth. Yeah, but below Kataba because... Wait, Core I think is the one that hits with the white element, right? Okay, maybe above Kataba. Yep. Essence of WereDragon. Very old monster, got updated to recent standards. But I wouldn't exactly say it's outdated. Okay if you know the mechanics because you still do need high BTH to beat it, and of course with the soft damage cap and the high defense boost, yeah, can still be quite challenging if you don't know what you're doing. I'm going to place it, it's almost on par with Kataba if you ask me, but is Essence of WereDragon harder than Kataba? Yes, because I think Essence of WereDragon has more mechanics that you need to take note of, like the high blocking, the damage cap, as well as the, what do you call that? Yeah, high blocking and damage cap. Yeah, those two. Kataba, it just really hits with 2 elements. Apart from that, not really hard. Diamond Dog, ooh, this one. It's more annoying and tedious than it is difficult if you ask me, like, since you can only do 1 damage. So multi-hit skills will be your friend, and of course if you're fragile you can cheese it with fragile super duper easily, but I would say it can give you a challenge. Other than that, there's really not much to take note of in terms of the mechanics, so I'm going to put it in this tier. Undead Xyphos, yep, this one outdated, definitely all the way at the bottom. Guardian Arena Final Challenge Gauntlet. I would say it can still give you a good run for your money if you don't know what you're doing, but for the most part, most of the monsters don't really have like any special mechanics that really need to take note of. So I'm going to put the Final Arena Challenge below Cragmar. Yeah, it's none of the bosses there are super tough. Wicked King. Oh, Wicked King. Wicked King with the burn. I'm thinking between putting it hair-pullingly difficult and can give you a challenge. Which one do you think Wicked King belongs to? I think because of the burn, I'm gonna put Wicked King here below True Horror Nightbane, but yeah, it's very close. It's either very high up on this tier or very low on this tier. I'm gonna put it in hair-pullingly difficult. Next up, this one, what is this? I can't really see. Oh, Iron Golem. Yeah, the newly revamped Iron Golem in one of the recent quests. Can give you a challenge. Yep, that's for sure. If you don't know what you're doing, this one can be hard. Above Diamond Dog? Yes, because Diamond Dog is really more tedious than it is hard. But it has less mechanics than Shadowscythe Virophage, so I will not place it above that. Moderator Challenge Gauntlet. Ooh, this one... Are there really any tough bosses there? To me, I find it quite easy. But I know to some people they can find it a bit difficult, and of course this is where you get the infamous Book of Burns from. I would say it can give you a challenge, but I really wouldn't place it super high up. Is it harder than Diamond Dog? Maybe, if you're not well prepared. Yeah, maybe if you're not well prepared. Okay, next up, Morningstar Boss Rush. This one... Boss Rush, I don't know how to feel about it. Yeah, the Medusa can also be hard if she manages to paralyze you. But I'm going to put it here, very high up here. But I don't think it's at this tier yet. Is it at this tier? I mean, I put the Guardian Arena challenge here. Should I shift this up here? Nah, I think it deserves to stay down here. Because apart from the final boss, the bosses before that, they are pretty easy. The thing is, the difference is that for Final Arena Challenge, you get a full heal in between each battle. Whereas for this one, if my memory is correct, you don't get a full heal at all. So that is what makes this difficult. Yeah, because of that, maybe I'll put it here. Because of the fact that you don't get a full heal. So you need to use your resources more wisely. Mogdin. Mogdin, not very hard. Yeah, not very hard. I think it can paralyze you because that's what the pet is. The guess is good for. So I'm going to put it here. Probably above Nulgath. Yep. Sea Titan. Oh, this one is interesting. Sea Titan. I did a video where I showcased two different methods of beating him. One is a pay to win method. One is a free to play method. And Sea Titan, it's an interesting boss, but you can't. You have to burst it down. You can't last too long against it. Otherwise, you just die to whatever his mechanics is. So I would say he is okay if you know the mechanics. But yeah, he is pretty tough. Will I place him above Caecus? On par with Caecus, I would say. But I think Caecus, because Caecus, like I said, hits with multiple elements, I'm going to place it above Sea Titan. Wabio. Ooh. Wabio can definitely give you a challenge. That's for sure. Yep, above... Not above Shadowscythe Virophage, but yeah, Wabio is pretty hard. And he also hits with multiple elements, but of course, these can 100% be predicted, so it's really not too bad. Okay, apart from that, it's really the soft damage cap that also makes him difficult, but Fireball Z kinda is able to cheese him down. But if you don't use Fireball Z, then I would say with his amount of HP, it's like 7,000 plus. Yeah, it can be quite difficult for some. Bun-Banneret. Ooh, this one. Honestly, if you know the mechanics, you stun it when you need to stun it. It's very easy, but if you don't know the mechanics, then yeah, it's not very hard. It's a one-hit kill if you don't know the mechanics. That's the thing. Like, am I assuming this list for people who know the mechanics or for people who don't know the mechanics? If you're going in blind, I mean, there's also a telegraph that pops up that tells you what to do. So, and I guess most, if not almost everyone nowadays brings some form of stun item in their inventory. I say almost everyone, but yeah, I think almost everyone does bring along some form of stun in their inventory, whether it's love potion, bag of mixed nuts, or whatever the case is. So, Bun-Banneret. There's also the different phases though. And you also get celerity. Can give you a challenge, but not a hard challenge. Probably a pretty easy challenge. Above Diamond Dog, okay. Omni Seekrat. This is the one that has that is minus 200% to all resistances, isn't it? This one, it was tough back in the day because there weren't that many void weapons and there weren't that many harm weapons. Like in the past, you had to use Mana Trap as well as Horosho Void Vanquisher to kill it. I do remember that very fondly. But nowadays, there's just so many void and harm options lying around that I would say it's pretty easy. And even though he does hit with multiple elements, yeah, there's just too many options nowadays. He is definitely quite easy. But because of the fact that he can hit with multiple elements, I'm inclined to put him above Ryn the Undying. Yep. Lurking Doombinder. Ooh, this one pretty hard. Yeah, when I first encountered it, it was pretty hard. It failed the first time, but once you get a hang of the mechanics, I would say it's not that bad. Can give you a challenge. Yeah. Above Wabio or below Wabio? Probably above. Yeah, I didn't struggle with Wabio that much. I would say above Wabio. FruitcakeZard, popularly used for backlash farming. So this one can paralyze you with the fruitcake, but honestly pretty easy boss. So yeah, not going to place this that high. Above Death Flare or below Death Flare? Because of the low HP, I would say below. Definitely harder than Rhubzard though. I feel. Is it harder than Rhubzard? The damage cap coupled with the paralyze. Rhubzard has more HP, that's for sure. But Tooty FruitcakeZard. Okay, because of the damage cap, I'm gonna put him a bit harder. Oh, Silk Screamer. Throwback to Gwen's house challenge as well as Smite's one. Horrible nightmares beating this boss. Mostly Gwen because she put like every single level version of it inside her house gauntlet. Yeah, this one is actually pretty hard. And it can drain off all your MP and SP as well. So harder than Starslayer, I would say yes. You also need all 8 elements to be able to break through the shield. So yeah, this one is definitely difficult. Baorus. Oh, Baorus is hard even if you know the mechanics. And unless you use minus 10% light resistance miscellaneous item, he's still going to be doing a significant amount of damage. Not to mention his poison as well as his heal. So you can't really play it super defensive. Like you still need to do damage to him. Otherwise he just keeps healing up and you can't kill him. So I'm going to say it is pretty difficult, but below True Horror Nightbane. Yeah. This one is Sylith the Lich. Outdated. Yeah, outdated. Not really that good, that strong nowadays. Probably below. Yeah, Sylith is going to be here, in the middle here. Okay, the rankings here are not exact because for some of the bosses, I don't really remember what they do. Like, within their own tiers, it's not super accurate, but for the different tiers, I would say it's pretty accurate. WoolZard. This one can make you go to sleep, right? But other than that, it's not very hard. Is it outdated? I'll say probably yes. What else can it do? Can it inflict elemental vulnerability? I honestly cannot remember, but I don't remember WoolZard being very difficult. I think he can inflict elemental vulnerability. I'm gonna place him here. Ramleon. Got the true and only unbeatable in the entire game because his HP just doesn't go below 1. Even stronger than your Nightbane, even stronger than your Carnax. Ramleoness, the number 1 boss in the game because it is literally impossible to beat. Okay? Next up, Gemini Monks. This one, yeah, outdated. Going the outdated tier. It does hit with 2 elements, but still pretty easy to beat. So this one probably here. Gigarox, newly revamped along with Queen Safiria. Honestly, quite easy. So yeah, I'm gonna put it here. Let's see, where does Gigarox belong? Above Sylith? Above FruitcakeZard? Yeah, I think it's above these guys. Probably not above Gemini Monk because it only hits with 1 element instead of 2. Let's see, this one, who is this? Wait, I cannot. Ultimon. Oh, Ultimon. Ultimon, because it hits with both light and dark. If you don't have a shadow armor, then he's going to be pretty hard. But if you do have a shadow armor, then I would say it's pretty easy. So I'm gonna go with okay if you know the mechanics. But honestly, not super tough. Scraping the bottom of this tier, that's for sure. Limkragg. Limkragg. I know it was quite difficult when it first came out. Nowadays, Limkragg. Is Limkragg still hard? I would say okay if you know the mechanics. Yeah, Limkragg probably gonna go okay. Put it here above Ultimon. Is it above or below Ultimon? Okay, maybe below Ultimon because Ultimon can hit with 2 elements. I think Limkragg only hits with 1, right? E-Series Tempest Droid. Honestly, I never had any problems with this E-Series Tempest boss, but that was because I dodge slashed it and completely skipped through the mechanics. Some people were having a bit of trouble, but honestly I think it's not very tough, so I'm gonna put this here. Yep. Okay, Eudorian, same quest, as Limkragg, okay, but Eudorian, I would say Eudorian is even easier than Limkragg. So Eudorian, sorry man, you're is this the place where the pet surpasses the master? I mean, the student surpasses the master. Whatever, I don't know, is Limkragg Eudorian's pet or something? But Eudorian, very, very easy nowadays. Probably below Sylith, yep. Shenyaro, ooh. Shenyaro is an interesting one. I would say okay if you know the mechanics. He's not super easy, but he's not super tough either. Above Sea Titan or below? He also has the element shifting thing, so you need to bring along a lot of different elements to deal with him. I'm gonna put him right below Sea Titan, but I think he's a bit harder than the Necromancer, the Paladin's class quest bosses. Quixote, the one that removes your miscellaneous items? Yup. But Quixote actually isn't a hard boss at all, so Quixote is gonna be at the bottom here. Above Rhubzard? Maybe. If you're not prepared. Above Tooty FruitcakeZard? Tooty FruitcakeZard? I don't know, man. If you're not prepared, only if you're very unprepared. Yeah, I'll probably put him here. Oh, the new Avian Trail Void Challenge. Okay, I'm going to take into account all 3 monsters and see them as one. I do personally feel the only difficult monster inside of the trio is the Shadow Rock. The Phoenix is pretty easy, and so is the Thunderbird. Honestly, they are cakewalks, but the Shadow Rock itself, I would say the Shadow Rock itself makes it deserving of this tier. Without the Shadow Rock, it's probably like this tier. Yeah, but because of Shadow Rock, I'm gonna put it at this tier, and I would say it is above Bun-Banneret, but probably not as hard as the Moderator Gauntlet. No, wait. See, the Shadow Rock itself. Yeah, the Shadow Rock itself makes it hard. Like, really hard. Okay, fine. Below Doombinder, alright, but above Wabio. Had it not been for the Shadow Rock as well as the number of item bans, this one would probably be all the way at the bottom of the list, to be honest. Ancient Four-Eyed Freak. Hits with a multitude of elements, but other than that, it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, you need to be able to nuke this down. If you can't nuke it down, chances are you're going to die. I would say it's okay if you know the mechanics, but generally not super tough. And because he hits with more elements than Ultimon, I'm gonna put it above Ultimon. Tibbles Terror Tank. I can't remember what this does already, but I think this is pretty easy, so it's going to be here in this tier. It's not outdated, it's a very recent boss, but I just think it's not super hard. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here. Smittens, yep, one of the earliest Void boss monsters, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Smittens is also very, very easy. Like, you just nuke it down and that's about it. I don't even remember what it does. Does it even have any special mechanics? I don't think so, right? Yeah, I'm gonna put Smittens here. And then, oh, Loco. Actually, I don't remember if Loco is beatable. Is Loco actually a beatable boss? Or is Loco unbeatable? I never tried. Yeah, I should probably try again sometime soon. Try and fight Loco. But Loco is definitely god tier. I mean, he is the demigod of mischief after all. Is he harder than those two? That depends. If he's unbeatable, then he'll be here. Below Ramleon. But if he's beatable, then he'll probably be here. Below Carnax. He hits with wind as well as energy. Yeah, 2 elements that you don't really... I don't remember any compression armor that blocks against these 2. So I don't remember if he's beatable or not. So I'm going to go with unbeatable for now. But this one I really need to go and check. Yeah, because I really don't remember. And that's it for the tier list, guys. A half an hour long video. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. And do you agree or disagree with my tier list? Feel free to comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on what do you think of this tier list. And of course, if you guys want to discuss even further, do go ahead and join my very own Discord channel. Okay, the link is already up on the screen. Plenty of players have joined there and we can have friendly discussions there. Alright, so that's going to do it for this video. If you guys have enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to this channel if you guys would like to see more of such future content. Till the next time, I'm your host, Korriban Gaming. Peace out.